Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Ask Leah, coming to you from the Riversleigh Hotel in Bairnsdale, where I am ahead of tomorrow's workshop that I'm delivering for a government department down here. I'm running Don't Shoot the Messenger, how to have difficult conversations and communicate under pressure. I delivered that workshop today as well, actually. I ran that one today with Leading Hands from RTL at Your Lawn Mine. So it's awesome to be out doing a huge variety of work. Earlier in the week, I also had an effective communication workshop with some staff at a car dealership. So hello to any of them who are watching. Anyone who's come and seen me speak or anyone who follows this page knows I am absolutely passionate about teaching people soft skills and equipping them with skills to help them get out of their own way. These soft skills are bloody hard, and I've had some people in workshops this week, and it has been the first time that they have ever done work in this space. And, you know, some of them are in their 60s, their, late 50s, early 60s, and it's the first time they've ever stopped and self-reflected on how they communicate and whether it's working out and helping or hindering their success. So, these are really important questions to ask ourselves because, of course, communication impacts everything, not just our professional relationships, but our personal relationships too. Okay, a question tonight and then a bit of a comment about something. So the question has come up a couple of times recently, and I have received a message about it as well, and it has to do with when you're leading someone who is a friend outside of work. And that is tricky. It does get complicated when you're friends outside of work and in work you are their leader. The important thing to remember in this situation is when you're at work and when you are their leader, you can absolutely still have a friendship, but you have to be able to do your role as leader. And that does mean addressing poor behaviour. It means having difficult conversations at times. So this question's come up a bit lately with people saying, look, there's maybe some behaviour that a friend is doing within my team, and it's awkward to try to raise that because they are a personal friend. And unfortunately, that's probably why the person's doing the behaviour. It's not good, but this often happens. Someone is a personal friend and they think, oh, but it's all right because they're my mate. I can, maybe they don't think I can get away with it, but they at least are thinking, I can do that. It'll be all right. They understand. The problem if we don't address behavioural issues, if they're with friends within our team, really it's at least twofold. One, if you, like any difficult conversation, if you avoid it, it doesn't disappear. The problem just grows. And if you avoid it, it sends a message to the other people in the team. It sends a message to them that they can do this too, which is not good because you don't want everyone in the team behaving in a poor way. By the same token, though, if they think, oh, good, we can behave this way as well, and then they do it and you pull them up on it, but you don't pull up your friends, geez, you will lose respect as a leader quick sticks. So we do have to have these tough conversations, but how do you do it? Okay, couple of tips. Number one, and this won't be a surprise to you, nip it in the bud. You have to have difficult conversations early. And if you haven't already, if you are promoted into a leadership role and you are friends with people in that team, I actually suggest this is an issue that you address directly early on and you have a conversation with your friends and you say, look, this is a change in dynamic in our relationship at work. Yep, we are great friends outside of work and that's awesome, and I hope we continue to be friends inside work as well. However, I have this role and that does mean sometimes I'll have to give you direction and that I will have to hold you to account to the same expectations I do everyone else in the team. So I might have to have a difficult conversation with you sometimes, and I'd actually be really frank and address that straight up. But if you've got someone who's not behaving well now and they are a friend, you do need to have that conversation. You need to consider whether, excuse me, it's one-on-one or not. Hopefully you can keep it fairly casual initially and tackle it one-on-one because you haven't avoided the conversation and let it grow into a big issue. If you do have that conversation, it's all in how you frame it from the very start. And what I suggest is you acknowledge the awkwardness. You know, you've heard me speak before about the importance of inoculating first. And that is where if it's going to be an awkward or uncomfortable conversation, you actually tell the other person this. You know, it might be, hey, Steph, you know, obviously we are friends outside of work and it is a bit awkward for me to raise this issue with you, but I'm raising this issue. This conversation is me as your supervisor today. So I do need to have this conversation. It might be a bit awkward, but here's what we need to discuss. And then you have the conversation. Now, your friend might be pissed off, okay? If they are, though, if that's that emotional reaction, it's understanding that they're reacting that way because maybe they're not managing themselves at the time. You are having to do your job. If you frame it in the best way possible, okay, you explain what you're doing and why, hopefully, when the dust settles a bit, you can have a conversation with them outside work and say to them, you know what, I know that was really tough, but that is part of my job, and at work, that is part of my role. As always, we can't control how someone else responds to us, okay? So they might be pissed off. They might be angry at you for a while. They might really crack the poos, and you can't control that. But don't avoid the difficult conversation, even if they're a friend. If anything, you owe it to your friendship, you owe it to your role as their leader to have that conversation early. The earlier, the better. Frame it well and you should be fine. To finish off tonight, if there's no other questions that come through, hello to those who are watching. And for those of you who have just joined and are thinking, what is this green behind Leah, this lovely green painting? I am in Bairnsdale tonight at the Riversleigh ahead of a workshop tomorrow. I just wanted to draw people's attention. I'm sure most of you are aware, but draw your attention to the fabulous We Are Latrobe campaign, which is the Hello campaign, which is running across Latrobe City and really promoting the importance of having a conversation, you know, saying hello to people in our community. And the importance of this for social connection, for mental health, and just for making it an awesome place to live. Now, this is something that I'm really passionate about and I love. I am that person who waves to everyone in the car. I am the person who says hello to people in the street. And I've always done that. I do take after my father that way. And I just want to encourage other people to do it too. And I know some of you out there do. You never know when you're going to brighten someone's day. Today, I stopped for a coffee. And I stopped for a coffee on my way to Bairnsdale. And I had a chat to the person who served me. I said, how's your day going? You know, how's things? And I just took, you know, a couple of minutes while they were making my coffee to have a conversation and really see them as a person. And what they said to me really took me aback because it was just being polite. It was having a conversation, seeing them as a person, not just a cafe worker serving me. In fact, they had a very important role, and that was to caffeinate me for my drive to Bairnsdale. And I had this conversation. They said to me at the end, thanks so much for being so nice. And I don't share this because I said I was so nice. I just see it as being polite and friendly. But it did make me think, and I actually said that. I said, you know, I'm just having a conversation, you know, I hope you're having a great day. And they said, most people don't give a stuff. They just want their coffee. Now, I'm not saying you have to stop and have a big long D&M with your barista. Some of you might. I was in a rush. I was looking to get to Bairnsdale quickly, but they were making my coffee anyway. I was just standing there. So I had a conversation. It's really easy to just look at our phones. It's really easy to just withdraw. But saying hello can make a difference to someone's day. It can really brighten it. So my challenge to you folk tomorrow is to say hello to people, strike up conversation, say a genuine thank you to anyone who serves you tomorrow. If you're in a rush and they're going as fast as they can, don't huff and puff and tap your foot, okay? Our hospitality, our service industry people, they do a great job and they cop it from a lot of people out there. So you be the person who makes them love what they do, who makes them think, geez, I'm glad I can brighten someone's day. Anyway, that is it from me tonight. I am going to hopefully have an early night ahead of a big day tomorrow. Tomorrow night, I'm at the East Gippsland Business Awards as a guest, and I can't wait to check out all the awesome things East Gippsland businesses are doing. Anyway, I will see you next week. If you have a soft skill question, make sure you send it through. Communication questions, send it through. I'm not on radio tomorrow morning, having a week off, but I will be back on Gippsland FM 104.7 next week at 6:45, and I look forward to chatting to you then. Bye.